This is season 4 of Pod Practice with Mikey Lund, Quinn Feiner, and Alex Atkins.
Check us out on YouTube and IG, Pod Practice _pod. Want to get in contact with us, most likely Mikey? Email show@podpracticepod.com.
Do you think there will ever be a time when you, Jacques, John, and Leo all play on the same team?
Ooh.
I hope so. We'll see.
Maybe in Colorado.
Some machinations. Yeah, probably not. I do love Colorado.
Today we got Mac Hecht on, my 2-time USA teammate, U24, and then Wook this past cycle, and now national champion, not to mention his college national champion and his... I'm not going to read the player awards because the list is too long, but yeah. Mac, how's it going, man?
It's good. I feel like I've been walking on clouds the last couple of weeks. Like, you guys know the feeling. But yeah, feeling really good. Feeling very proud.
Tell us, unpack the season for us a little bit. What was the Revolver season journey like this year?
Yeah, shout out this like piece of swag that we got. BE.
Oh, that's kind of sick.
Is it pronounced BE or BE?
We do both.
Yeah. Okay.
I think technically it's B. But
I did ask Kevin about this. Do you want to hear the story?
Yeah.
Tell it.
I think it was originally supposed to be BE, or like that's how they were kind of marketing it as, but it just rolled off the tongue to say BE better. Kevin might have been the one because he is the marketing guy.
Yeah, he probably
just
is.
sort of push that as the standard. But Quinn always says BE, and he's a sponsored athlete. So.
I think it's like B, because they're saying like the slogans are like B, like what is it? Be incredible. I don't know what the slogans are.
Better than ever.
Sponsor. Yeah, better than ever, and all that shit. But
good job.
Yeah. 5 cents for you. I think it's like the live live ultimate thing from a couple years back. I never knew what to say.
It's still live ultimate. That is fucking hilarious.
I'm happy to unpack the season. I'm excited to talk about Revolver and the team we've got. I don't know where you want me to begin. I mean, how are you guys? Quinn, how are your legs and your body? Like, what's your status? I was happy to see that you were running around.
I was running around a little bit. I definitely wasn't healthy, but I was out there playing a little bit, and it was definitely a challenge to be like more of the person that stands in the stack. And then also just like when I did want to turn it on, it was mostly just like scary. Like I was just like, I don't know, because it was just like hurting the whole time and just not 100% healthy. So I was definitely worried about like re-injuring it and then needing surgery or something like that afterwards. So, but I made it healthy, and that's where we're at, and that's good.
Because Quinn's first practice back was the Saturday before National, so less than a week before the tournament.
Yeah, it's so tough. I remember talking to you at Pro Champs, and you guys were down bad. Like we I think beat you guys pretty like handily in that game.
15-8.
Yeah,
and, I just felt like I felt like you guys were in a tough spot, and then like seeing you guys have the Nationals performance you did, I thought we were going to see you guys in the bracket based on how pool play went and everything. Especially after what you did to my dig boys, bunch of good friends I've got on that team. I was watching some of the like field pass stuff back, and there's like a few like small clips of it, but otherwise it was like unfilmed, right? The game that you guys had against them.
Yeah, I think the only game we had filmed was our truck game in pool play, and then I guess technically our quarter was on field pass too.
Maybe we can come back to dig. I've got lots of thoughts about the like UFA like club situation. But anyway,
I do as well. I have some of those questions for you, but right back at you. But we can get to that.
I think that's like honestly a pretty good place to start for the season, though, because what predated Revolver this year was spiders, and I think like having a big chunk of our group for the first time in like 6 or 7 years, maybe more, playing pro together, I think like really accentuated one thing that I think actually we as Revolver have as a pretty big advantage on a lot of teams, which is that we have a lot of density. We have like a lot of people living in the same area that are able to play a lot together. And in particular, Leo, Walker, Adam, and then Raekwon when he was able to come down, Nate Pryor, who like played a few games, I think, as well. Dylan Whited, though he was hurt for a lot of the Spiders season. All of those guys playing Spiders. Eli played as well, but he played mostly D, and he was like came to I think some of the things. But like all of those guys having that extra number of reps together was huge for us. And like, of course, UFA is super different in some ways, and there's like rule changes, and it's a different sport in certain aspects. And like maybe that's at some point we talk about dig and like what strategies work well in some versus others. But I think that was a huge leg up for us and helped us get started. There's still a big chunk of the Revolver team that I don't think will want to play pro for like mileage reasons or for like logistical reasons or whatever else. Some are like more philosophical as well. I think, but I think that the advanced like reps that we got from that were helpful. My claim to fame is that I moonlighted as an assistant coach for the Spiders. The impact that I had, it was limited to like I went to like 2 or 3 practices and 1 game, and then like lurked in the Slack for the entirety of the season. I came to like a couple of
Slack me.
Yes, exactly. I like went to a couple of the O strategy meetings that Evan and Walker were kind of helping run, and like gave my 2 cents a little bit, but for the most part was out, and just wanted to be part of it because I think there's like a lot of power in having union across the
cohesion.
The cohesion, exactly.
Why didn't you play UFA this year?
I had a lot of stuff on my plate. It's like when I was 23 or 24, and like some of the people that were at the top of the game or close to it were like retiring or going to do other things. I was like, how can that be? Like, don't you want to just like do the thing that you love and like keep doing it? Isn't that what life is for?
Eternity, yeah.
And now I'm 29 and like I got married this year, and there's like a lot of stuff that just like was part of my life, and planning and doing, and I like there's a somewhat long list of the various things I was doing that made it so that like the Wednesday night practices in Oakland didn't make sense for me to go to, and like even a lot of the games, both road and home, like I couldn't make. And so then it was like, okay, should I be a player for like 6 things, or should I just like try to do this odd, like half in advice, and then like try to be mainly focusing on Revolver, and that's what I ended up doing.
All in, yeah.
Talk a little bit about the chemistry of the game. Like what I really noticed in the UFA season, you know, the Walker, Leo, especially those 2, but probably some Raekwon in there, like their ability to run like the Dominator.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Like your change of pace look as Revolver. Can you just talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I think the common theme with a lot of those guys is that at some point in their lives, they had to be handlers, or like were the best player on their team by a mile. Like Walker is maybe the place we can start, and he went to Middlebury, and like we always poke fun at him for like coming up from the D3 roots, but he actually, well, yeah, I mean, he's such a self-driven and capable person that he's been able to rid himself of any of the demons that come from being part of a D3 program. There are other successful people that have come from D3 programs, so I'm not knocking the division as a whole, but the like habits you learn and the way that you learn to play, I think, is definitely pretty different, especially for high level single gender club. But like watching those Middlebury games, from when Walker was in college. I know it's tough sledding, but it also is like, it is Walker doing a lot of like staring downfield for a little while, not seeing much, and then like throwing a 6-yard forehand to the sideline and immediately running up line and like getting it back. And that pattern, maybe differently than some of the patterns that are bad, like is really good and is really helpful for his play style because he's super fast, because he's physically dominant. And Leo was like a handler at times in high school and went downfield occasionally, but has been like a person that's been in the backfield at times. Raekwon has handled for different teams because he's been like the most talented thrower, which is wild because he's also, I'm sure, the most athletic person on each of the teams he's been on. But like all of those guys have that kind of like dribbling tendency, or at least some level of being a person that feels the need to immediately get the disc back, whether that's because of need or like the way that the team shape was. This is true for John Randolph too, by the way. And like
you have some roots in this too, right? Playing for Jake at Brown.
Totally. I like to always make sure that people know that I was a cutter first and foremost, and I still claim to be as much
2015 Buddha.
Yeah, exactly. Being a handler and being someone who is like a high touch person, I think enables a lot for when you catch the disc in flow. You have somehow through other mechanisms created an advantage of like 4v3 or like defenses on their heels, and then you're able to do a lot with that. And that's something that I think that chemistry was helpful for.
Without the UFA reps, do you think, is that something that Revolver would have tried to install naturally?
Yeah, I think we mostly just got great at something we were already good at. I think a lot of those, I mean, like the Jake and the like BMO stuff that you guys have now done a couple pods with people from that to uncover some of the secrets. And I think like there is no secret in some ways. It's just a lot of like doing it together so that you can learn little intricate patterns and like know the tendencies of how people like to throw certain looks and like what to do when you're on the high side and getting pushed back to the middle, and all the little things. You just like gather so much data when you do it a lot together. And I think we would have still done it on Revolver no matter what, but the like additional data points that you get from UFA or like mini before Winter League or whatever it might be, it's like it all piles up. Something Jake talks about sometimes is playing age, and how like in Frisbee, like so many people at the top of the sport have played only X amount versus like your standard soccer player who's already covered X amount by the time they're 7 or something like that. And like anything that can get you incrementally closer towards like a higher bar is really helpful.
Yeah. I want to talk about Walker a little bit more. We'll probably talk about more teammates later, but it feels like Walker it feels like this from the outside, that he kind of came out of nowhere and all of a sudden he's just like fucking incredible. And like he definitely had a good UFA season last year, but like this year he probably should have won MVP, honestly.
He's my MVP for sure.
Yeah, like probably me too. And then it was kind of like in the back of my head, I'm like, well, is he just good at UFA? Because there is players that are like good at UFA and like in club, it's like a little different. And then he comes out and has this club season. Like, did it just kind of all come together recently, or was it always there and people from the outside just didn't really know?
I think it's more about who he is than like his play style. Honestly, I think he's someone who, like, absent of Frisbee and other parts of the life that I know him in, is like a super capable, competent person who like wakes up early in a very disciplined fashion and like goes to do his like 4 things to get them out of the way, and he like buys like 4 boxes of greens at the beginning of the week. So whatever, all the things that you associate with like successful people, he's really good at. He's really good at a lot of those things. I don't know if he puts his face in like ice baths or whatever the like recent thing is, but he's just like good at a lot of stuff. And so that as kind of like the background of the player he is when he came to Revolver before I joined. I think he was a practice player in 2023, if I remember correctly. I played with him on Spiders that year. Mm-hmm. And I think he was just like a little rougher around the edges, but he hasn't played, like his play style hasn't really changed that much. He hasn't really added new tools much to the bag. He's more just like continued to get faster. He's like really whittled down on turnovers, which is like maybe some of the D3 tendencies and stuff, where he knows what he can throw, he throws those, and otherwise he's just like very hard to guard because he runs a ton, because he's in great shape, because he's a disciplined person.
Yeah. And you have to put someone kind of like bigger on him because he is kind of a big dude. And so like you put someone bigger on him and he just runs him into the ground, and it's like, damn. Or he just like runs Dominator, and generally big defenders aren't used to that. So it's like he's kind of the catch-22. And yeah, I was incredibly impressed by him in the UFA and then in club this year. So yeah. And I saw him randomly at fucking London Invite. He's playing for like Blueprint or something. I'm like, what are you doing here? And we like chatted for a second. Yeah, it was hilarious.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Quinn, there are parts of his game that remind me of you, in that he's like a very athletic person who comes from other sports. I think he doesn't do as much of like downfield or hockey, like some of the like flashier stuff that you do. But the way that you are a nightmare matchup for everybody, because like small people, you can kind of like post them up or just like be larger than, and then like big people who are used to running in big straight lines, you're like quicker than. It's a similar thing for him.
Thanks. That feels good.
Yeah.
It feels good to hear you say that. Yeah. I appreciate it.
Quinn needs a confidence boost.
I need my confidence after this, like after playing with one hamstring all UFA and then, like, not playing club this year. My confidence is in the gutter, dude. But I'll be back.
I certainly would never want to guard you. So that's true for most people.
I have a bullet point list of just max stuff and then other topics to move on to. We'll definitely still talk about the season and nationals itself. But just like listening to you, like the first bullet point I have written down is strategizer. And part of that is because of what Malika told us, that you do have a really good mind for the game. I don't know if this is a Brown thing too, if just you're all Ivy Leaguers that think about shit.
Nerds.
Nerd or what, but like thinking about you Revolver ran the most unique pull sets this year, or at least I would say the most unique. Like I didn't see anybody else. I call it a T-stack. I don't know what you call it, but like where did that come from, and what are you like, when you're thinking about offense, what are you trying to prioritize?
Well, thank you. That's very kind of you. I've been obsessed with sports my whole life. I feel like I grew up a huge Patriots fan. Shout out Pats. I'm sure everybody's going to like
7-2. What are they? Are they 8-2 now or 7-2?
I actually don't know.
Second easiest schedule in the league so far. So let's just,
Yeah, but also like the best dynasty of the century, and like,
and you play for Revolver, which is like the best frisbee dynasty. Yeah, here we go.
But like the like newspaper that my dad got, the Boston Globe, when we were growing up, and they'd always have like special Sunday portion of like the Patriots depth chart and like how things map out on the field, and like
that's cool.
The way that people would do a little bit like of a preview of a play, or like something that Randy Moss would run, and like rub routes that they would try to use to get people open, and that sort of stuff. Like that was like the thing that I looked forward to all week, and like thinking about that stuff has always been super fun for me. I love the Thinking Basketball YouTube channel. I have always loved soccer. I played soccer before Frisbee as well. I love baseball too. It's less relevant, but like I just like love thinking about the way that people move and like that stuff opens up. So that's like the basis of it, I think, is just like a kind of lifelong obsession of like the way that different evolutions of different games go, and like my love for just like watching, consuming, and like trying stuff myself. With frisbee specifically, I think the fact that have always been I was gonna say always been a handler, but I just said that I wasn't gonna. The fact that I've always been someone who digests the field with the disc in my hands, I think has helped me also like see different things open up, and like I've just gotten the chance through like a lot of luck, a lot of good situations I found myself in, and like teams like in high school that had lower levels of skill. So I was like the person that was doing a lot of that. Just like a lot of repetitions of seeing things unfold and like how different plays manifest, and then getting a chance from various coaches to like call sets. And then like at the end of that game where I've called the same play 4 times, it like didn't work the third and fourth time. It's like, okay, how did that happen? How do we get better? And I think people like Jake, especially in college, were incredibly helpful in like helping me diagnose stuff that was going wrong and like really iterate quickly on like what to get better at. And that I think is like most of it is like obsessive background from like the beginning. And then thinking about the way things go from like the thrower's perspective for my whole career, and then having coaches who like break stuff down and show me what's working and what's not, and then immediately getting a chance to like go rep it again and see how that works. It feels like the amount of time I've been able to sink into it because of that luck and like the circumstances I've been in is like the main thing behind all of it.
I have a similar obsession with that type of that way of thinking, and I always talk about pattern recognition and putting yourself in as many situations where you have to recognize patterns. I find is a really transferable skill. Like for instance is I'll do the daily chess.com puzzles.
Yep.
Which are very basic, but I also think is it's just a good habit. Like you see it faster all of a sudden. And then I really feel like it does apply to sports too, or like even video games. Maybe speaking more Quinn speed.
I ain't doing the chess puzzle. I'll tell you that much.
Mike, what's your rating? What are you up to? Not in a competitive way. I'm just like I could see you being a chess whiz.
I don't play many games. I just do the puzzles. My rating's probably around 1,000.
Beast.
Denny Beaches. He's a really good chess player. I think he's around 1,500, something like that.
Beast mode.
He's an interesting guy, by the way. Quick side tangent is he's the type of person that could not explain to you why he does anything, but he is sort of a savant in any type of game. He used to play League of Legends at I think he was, I don't know where, I don't want to misspeak, but he would be in games with pros.
Yeah.
And then I think StarCraft, he was ranked maybe top 100 in the world at some point.
Yeah, it might have even been higher. Like he's legit at that type of stuff.
He's got a touch of the tism.
Could not explain it to you.
Sure.
He's a lovely, lovely man.
Yeah.
Where I was
you were saying
talking about
pattern recognition. I'm sorry, I sidetracked you.
Yeah.
Just
in general, I find that those things just lend itself so well to sports and breaking things down quickly. You see a player do one thing or you a couple things once or twice, and then the more you do it, the quicker you are able to dissect these things. And I think it makes you a better player, and is very handy for someone in my position that my job is just to give people information and to dissect things.
Yeah.
How about some of the formations that you've come out? Like, were they borrowed, stolen, or out of your own head?
Combo of all. The T stack stuff you're talking about that looks like a T. We not this past season, but the season before, we had truck stop in our pool at nationals, and we were watching them play and trying to do like scout team offense for our defense, and we saw them running a lot of like this 3 in the middle and then 2 wing things where they would try to get Jacques and Johnny like somehow getting the disc from a downfield position out of the trio in the middle, and we like did it as the scout team at practice, and we like ripped the D, and we were like, holy mackerel, we should try it. We should like consider incorporating this ourselves. We've called it various things from there, and there's like lots of iterations off that. But yeah, I mean, you can see it on film. It's like some combo between like a hoe and a vert, and it's nice that it gives people with the disc a lot of options. Basically, like I think in both traditional vert and traditional hoe, like however you would draw that on like a whiteboard or something, there are dead zones, even split too. There are like dead zones where like people on offense are inaccessible or like not really viable, and defenses are built now in a way that's like predicated on that. Well, yeah, to stop like the active things, and they're like, we know that you're not going to try to throw it to this 4th guy in the stack who's the stack meet guy that you guys never throw to anyway. So
Except, Mac, I know you love throwing that hammer to that guy. I know you love throwing the hammer to that guy.
Well, I do,
especially in a split, yeah,
in a split, and like to the break side. But that's like, I mean, the evolutionary arms race of like O versus D has always been about like, where can we threaten stuff? What are we taking away as a defense? And then like, how do those things end up merging? And T, more than anything, like it's kind of like running zone in person setting, because it's like you're kind of playing zone offense to begin with, because people are playing off of their people for the most part across the division. There's occasional times where you get like super person like against Pac-Man, and then we can just run side stack like the good old days, and then it's super fun.
I have a couple Pac-Man clips as well.
Good.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that I do like about it. It's different enough, but also familiar. Like a lot of the actions are still out of a, quote unquote vert.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's way harder to sag, right? Because you don't have 2 resets back. It's usually just like with you, it's you and Pryor back there, probably. Maybe you and Leo. I don't think I ever saw that. And it's like if someone helps off one of the wings, one of the rails, it's just so easy to just identify that quickly and hit that person.
Yeah.
When we've tried to run it a little bit. One is I'm not very good at convincing the team to experiment more. 2, I think we did have some trouble accessing the people on the wings when there was like junk or people were helping off, and I do wonder a little bit if that's just, I think it's somewhere in the middle of we didn't practice it enough and get used to the pattern recognition, but also I think that you are uniquely talented in your ability to like push the disc vertically off of a pole. And I have one specific clip that I'm excited to talk to you about.
Yeah. I think the T stack is definitely good, but I think you guys do it really, really well for I think 2 reasons that I see is one is you as a thrower open up a lot of things that a lot of teams don't have. Just like period. Like you as a thrower with the disc is like a different thing that I would go as far as to say maybe no one else has in the division. And second, even if it's not you, the the handlers in the front three are so good on your team at reconnecting to the downfield. And I think an issue that we have had in the past on any stack we run, any offense we run, and especially in that stack, is we get disconnected and we are not as good at reconnecting with our legs from the backfield. And your whole team that is in that zone is so good at that. And so that's like two things that you guys do so well that make that stack so threatening.
Hey, Quinn, do you think every Frisbee player needs a pair of cleats?
Everybody does need a pair of cleats for sure.
Why not have an ultimate specific cleat?
Yeah, that'd be crazy to use a cleat that's designed for your sport. I don't know why you'd do that.
Ingenious. And stay tuned for the new Pod 1s. We're shooting for 2035. I don't know. But support Tokai Ultimate, and you can support the pod by using our referral link, tokai-ultimate.com/pod practice. Watching you guys play this year and also seeing some of the things that we struggled with off the pull, like I am actually not a pull play fan. I don't care about them really. I don't think that they're super necessary.
I'm with you.
But I don't know, Quinn, what do you think?
But I feel like pull play is the best in the division.
Well, like 80% of our possessions, I feel like we had a plan and we see a sag and we don't break the mark and we just have to go into resets right away.
100%. Yeah.
And I
maybe
feel
not 80, but it's high. 65, 70.
Higher than I'd like it to be for sure. Yeah. Unless we're running something super vanilla, like just a vert stack zipper. Where
we are good at that.
It's like, okay, Zeke, just run faster than your dude underneath. Or like Elliot, just attack him and go get the disc.
It was funny. As soon as we tried to run plays with like nuance, and I think we got the hang of it, but like double diamond was a play we tried to run for a while, and it was just like, I love my college boys, but it was mind blowing for them. And I was like, guys, like I think you ran this in college. Like, what's fucking going on?
I think they did a pretty good job of it.
It took them like 5 games, though. Like it was forever. Awesome. Like we ran it at practice like the 2 weeks before leading up to nationals, couldn't do it. Maybe got it like 10% of the time. Messed it up at nationals, and then like finally got it in like our third pool play game or something.
It's awesome. I mean, like I agree with the like pull plays are not that helpful take. I think like the bread and butter of what to figure out on offense is not pull play. Like pull plays are kind of like the extra thing. But if you can have a certain number of pull plays that allow for like some percentage you choose of your offensive points to be quick or like easy, however you want to like define or like grade that is mega chill. And that's also super good for your D guys. Like tactically, if your D guys put up like a 2-minute long hold, a stand, but the other team does score a hold, and like one of those where everyone's cheering after it, even though you got scored on, and then you go out and score in like 15 seconds. That's huge. It's pretty sick. Yeah.
And you guys did that really well. I mean, like the amount of quick goals you had because you're just ripping something on a rope is staggeringly high.
It's high.
I had some squeakers though too, I have to say. Garrett, just speaking of Garrett, shout out Garrett, great guy and great filmographer, or whatever you call it. Just posted a reel of that the huck I threw to Sai in the semis. It is tight. It is really close.
That was so tight.
Yeah. I wish I hadn't thrown it. That and the last one to Raekwon in the finals. Like there are a couple that I wish I got back, or like I wish I hadn't thrown. In retrospect, all's well that ends well, but like I don't know.
I have a question anecdote type thing.
Yeah.
I have a hypothesis about you that I'm not sure that you know. Do you know that you like when it's an 0 point to hold to win, you want to throw the goal really, really bad, I feel like. Have you ever noticed that?
I feel like I like for the glory.
It's not for the glory. Maybe it is. I want to throw the goal too. Like I want to do it. It's like everybody wants to, but your decision making like opens up on the last point, which I've noticed. And like that final is a good example. But off the top of my head, like I remember U24s in the final. Like you really, I could tell you really really wanted to throw it, and I think you ended up throwing it to JR. And then semis at Wook. We had like 2 turns in like the point to go, and you threw like a crazy hammer that like you usually throw, but it was out of the ordinary for me, what I've noticed. And then we got broke. You drive back to line. Sorry guys, my bad. And it's just like it feels like you like push the boundaries of your decision tree on the last point. Is that something that you know, or is that just kind of a subconscious?
It's something I actually thought a lot about after we lost a truck in 2023 when I was on dig, because I threw that high backhand. We lost. Well, oh god, okay. Well, about that. I mean, of course,
you led the high backhand more than you would have. Like you tried to lead that one into the end zone instead of just like throwing it to him.
Well, no. Well, the play I'm thinking of is actually at 13-12. Oh, okay. 13 or something like. I think it's 13-12. We're going downwind, and I have it on the high side cone, and I try like a very very tight high backhand to Leo screaming across, and it goes like way over his head. And then they score to make it or something like that. And then eventually that's like, we were up a break and like had gotten pulled to start. So like we had 2 chances, and like I gave one of those away with that. But like, yeah, I mean, I want to be famous. I enjoy it. Like glory. I care what other people think with me, and I wish I thought less of that. And like the fact that my decision tree opens up in big moments is bad. Like, and so
I don't know if that's true. I was just hypothesizing. But like the example of throwing that to Raekwon, like I don't think you throw that at 12s.
No, I also wouldn't have thrown it if it was any closer. It felt like we were playing with house money a little bit. I don't know. I think that's probably true. I think I intuit a little bit of the vibe of the game more than I should, and like should be a little more robotic with my decisions.
Throwbot.
Throwbot
Mac.
I might take that. It's pretty sick.
That's fucking sick, dude.
But I do enjoy. I want to be on the. I love sports. You know, I love.
Yeah, who doesn't, man?
And I want to be part of that.
100%. And I kind of worded it in a negative way. And I was not at all trying to word it in a negative way. I was actually like, so here's it. Like when there is a lot of pressure and there's tight moments, a lot of throwers do not hit things that they usually hit. So their risk aversion becomes bigger, and it's a bad, like, for example, World Games final, like this is the biggest moment in Frisbee, basically. Canada, when they were up and when it was universe, their risk aversion was so high to the point where they were looking off things that they would normally throw. And I think that is an easy thing to do. It's easy to get like scared of that. Like a ton of people do it, but it's crazy because you're such a good thrower and you almost do the opposite, which I think is significantly better than being more risk averse. I think it is better because.
So what you're saying is Mac is not afraid of the moment.
He's not afraid of it.
You're like
he wants it.
You got the Steph Curry gene.
Like that's how I see it. Like 100%. I think it's sick.
It's a very kind reframe. I think there's like an appropriate level of confidence to have, and I think there are times where I've been overconfident, and I think that's hurt my teams. And so,
but you gotta be overconfident to some point.
Yeah. I think I mentioned I like baseball. I've been like obviously the World Series was just like a week ago. I think a lot about offense as kind of similar to pitching, where like you're never really going to win the game for your team, but you can like keep your team in the game. And then the defense is the like side that usually wins it for you in terms of like getting a lead. And I've always loved closers in baseball because I think that they just are like built different and are like
just ballsy,
really strange people and like have various like screws loose or whatever it may be. When I was young and the Red Sox were good, Jonathan Papelbon would come in and they would always sing "Shipping Up to Boston" as he was coming in, and like the crowd would go crazy. That was always super fun. So anyway, I think similar to like my obsession with the strategic stuff of sports, the like emotional feel of a lot of the way that games unfold is also something that I love and like have always been a part of or wanted to be a part of.
Yeah. There's also something to be said about throwing things that are risky and people don't expect on like universe like that, because people don't expect it. Like you threw that one with Nate Goff closing in on Raekwon, which like I think very, very highly of Nate. And it goes up and I'm like, oh my, like Nate is getting that. But like, I don't think he expected that to go. And I think that factored into like him being like a little bit late to it. Raekwon made a sick play, obviously, but like, I think that factors in. Like people don't expect that shit at 14.
Yeah. It's a good point.
You made it a tough read for Nate too. It was not a terrible throw. That's by any means.
No, just a crazy one.
Squeaker. Yeah.
A squeaker. Talking about baseball, talk about your hammer. Did it come from baseball? Why do you have such a good hammer?
Maybe. I think there's definitely some baseball elements to that. I feel like the people that have had the best hammers, I mean, Nutt always comes to mind, first of all. I know he's got a baseball background, at least a little bit. But there was a guy on my high school team who was like terrible in all ways, but he was also the quarterback from our football team. And he was like very coordinated, and he could throw like 50-yard hammers and like right on a dot. He couldn't throw forehands and he couldn't throw backhands, and he like kind of could play zone defense and could like read the field really well, obviously, but like didn't invest any of the time into the like actual skills of Frisbee and just kind of like showed up because he thought it would be fun. It was good to have him, but the notable thing about him was the hammer. And I think having that overhead action and like thing you train in terms of like weight transfer and the way that the mechanics work is helpful. The other thing is my parents both played Frisbee like in the good old days. And, when I started getting into it in high school, they both were like so excited about it and threw with me at this field right near our house. And my dad especially like loves hammers, and like I don't know if he could foresee how helpful they would be, but he like he always wanted to throw them to me, and I like wanted to copy him and you know, live up to that as well. So I think some combo of a little bit of that sports background from baseball, but also like I think my dad and the different reps I had as a kid.
And then talking about your love of glory, would you consider yourself the best handler in the game right now?
Quinn's shaking. No, he said, I don't like, what does that even mean? I'm a cutter. Like, I don't even know.
Are you the best? Gotta be the best cutter in the game.
I like on what metrics? I think I can do things that not that many others can. And I think that's like one criterion for whatever you want to build that for. But honestly, I like most of what I think I'm good at is more of the like reading the play and like piecing together elements of patterns and stuff. And I'm never going to be the best athlete or even close to it. I'm never going to be the best at getting open. And like when Henry Ing is guarding me or other people who are good at guarding, I'm like, this is tough. And like, if I were the best handler or cutter, I feel like I would probably be able to do more. Like, I think of John and Quinn and other like primo offensive players as being significantly better at a lot of parts of the game than me. So somewhere I'm in the mix, I would say, because I think throwing I'm good at. But I don't know, it like depends how you define it.
Do you think you were always this humble?
I don't think of myself as that humble, to be honest.
Bro,
just publicly.
We're just, this is just going to be the glazing Mac pod, but that's fine.
Oh, gosh.
I think this season, like if not like this season, you were the best. You're the best handler, dude. Like I really don't think it's that close either this season. Like there's a lot of great players, and sure, people do things better than you, but you were the best handler this season, and like your stat line from nationals, this like shows that the success of your team shows that, and all that. So like that's my 2 cents on it.
Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. I feel like Mike feels similar. I think.
I feel very proud of the low turnover numbers this year. I think in particular.
You had 2 at nationals.
Yeah, beast mode.
That's fucking crazy, dude.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Crazy.
Especially if anybody watches a Revolver game and sees how much you touch the disc and sees the throws that you take, it's crazy.
Cheers.
You know, thinking about Don's performance is very hyped as it should be at nationals and 0 turns. But considering the degree of difficulty and the touch rate that you have, 2 turns is arguably more impressive, at least from the throwing perspective.
I want them both back. I like to rethink.
Were they both in the pool play machine game? When did they happen?
One was getting point blocked in the pool play machine game by Jeff. Shout out Jeff. He's super good. Jeff Gao. He's super
dude.
Good.
That is actually in an unreleased episode. Quinn is
on Jeff. Jeff Gao is fucking incredible. He's an insane defender.
Good. Yeah,
he's an insane defender, and like nobody knows or talks about him. I think.
I'm with you. Yeah, I think very highly of him. And then the other is in the GOAT game. We were up like 9-2 or something like that, and I threw like the worst full play huck because we'd like just run the fake fury play that everybody runs now, which is like one handler goes up line.
I have that one clipped like 3 times.
Sure, it's like it's like back zipper when it works. It's like, didn't you guys practice this on defense? Yeah. It's like it's obvious, but we did it. At like 6-1 or 7-1 or something like that, and then like the next point we went right back out, and I was feeling confident and like kind of we were rolling and stuff, and I was just like, let's just do it again, and it like really wasn't open, and like the Mark did a great job. There's like 1 or 2 of those guys on GOAT did a good job guarding me, and some of the other people on our O, and I just like threw it anyway, and it's like what. Really wish I hadn't done that. Yeah, just like
you're just feeling yourself. Yeah,
but too much though. Anyway,
there might be one clip where Dylan makes a pretty nice play, and you may have wanted that one back too. I'm not sure.
Squeaker.
Yeah,
it was a squeaker.
Enjoying the pod?
Buy us a cup of coffee at ko-fi.com/podpractice.
Moving on to semis, you touched on it already. You got the Henry matchup. I think they were smart to put Henry, and it was kind of alternating between him and D. Lee. I think I have this documented. You got Ambrose for a point and Sealand for a point.
God,
yeah.
What a rotation.
So the first point of the game, I think. You push downfield right away, and then you guys do hold with that first hammer to Simon, and then the second point of the game, you guys run a dominator. Second O point, I should say. Was that in response? Like, were you thinking consciously about the fact that Henry and Dealey are coming down on you, or when you see them, are you consciously moving upfield, knowing that you can just make space for other teammates?
All of those guys are so good at playing defense that I usually feel like I've got no hope in like most areas. I think that there are like times where like some of them will like, I feel like I study a lot of them and their style pretty specifically as well. Henry is so quick side to side for someone of his size that he does a lot of like just locking super tightly in on the person he's guarding and like just like daring and waiting for them to move, and he's just going to react and beat you to the spot, which he does, which is crazy. but there are times where like the disc will move without him knowing about it, and I can like kind of use that. So like try to use my sparks on some of that, and then D-Lee I think does so much for their defense from like a center fielder perspective or like free safety perspective, and sometimes that tendency I think allows for me to like take advantage of that as well. Like maybe he's opposite of Henry, like more preoccupied with thinking about other stuff. Yeah. And those are the only chances I get to touch it. Like if I'm ever trying to like out athleticism any of those people, it's not going to go well. So yeah, like trying to find little spots and pockets for myself based on how the flow of the point is kind of unfolding. And to your question about like what I was calling based on matchups and stuff, the pull play sequencing and like the way we think about that is more a product of like how we expect people will guard us holistically and less about like specific matchups, though we do think about tweaks and like ways to alter stuff based on like if Leo's getting guarded by a big person or like if Adam is getting fronted a lot, or I don't know, like all the different like small ways that you can try to deal with us. So yeah, less of like pull plays that are a product of matchups, but definitely like tweaks in flow that we use based on who the people are.
That makes a lot of sense.
Do you call plays, or who calls plays for Bravo?
It has changed over the years. Some years I have called them exclusively. This year it was.
I mean, it's been me and you for every year since like 2022 to 2024. It's been me and you, and then this year it was not.
Right? Yeah, well, 24 we had Seth calling a lot of them, but
because I was gone. Yeah.
And then by the end of nationals, I just took it back over.
Yeah.
How do you think about that? I mean, like I think about this kind of like American football style of like you always hear the like run game versus the pass game and trying to mix up the right things that like and allow you to then do play action so that you get the home run or whatever it might be. Do you guys how do you think about like sequencing over the course of a first half or like over the course of a game?
I think about pacing a lot. Like the best example I have is the 22 O-line that we had, and I wish that we could have kept that group together because it had similar strengths to yours in that we had change of pace. We didn't have like a game-breaking thrower as a center handler for us. We did have Quinn and we did have Kins.
Yeah.
But that grouping was really good at playing vertically. We could score quickly, and then we had a change of pace. Like if in finals, if you see the backfield as Cole, Danny, and Calvin, we're running a dominator.
Totally.
It's similar. Like if I see Walker, Leo, Raekwon or Nate, like okay, if I see Mac downfield, okay, they're running a dominator. And it was similar. Like if Ben Laurie was downfield for us, we were probably running a dominator that year. So I think about that a lot, especially like maybe after we've scored a quick goal. I like that, or if this is maybe I don't have a reasoning for this. It's just more of a feeling when I feel like the defense is kind of on their heels. I do like dominator looks in those situations, or like towards the end of a half. I think it's because that the pace, like the looks come so fast, and I think in those moments defenders tend to like they want to jump on everything quickly and like make a play. But if you're moving the ball really fast and just changing the point of attack, I find that tends to cut through it quite well. But, and Quinn will attest to this, in 2024, last year, we probably over-indexed that way to the point where we kind of forgot, like by nationals, I think it was sort of in my head, like, whatever, we'll just get the vertical game back because we just were good at that. But we never did. Maybe in consolation. And at that point, in consolation, it was a ton about specific matchups. So like Aylin, I love Aylin. He was handling for us last year, but he was taking advantage of quite a bit. Like defenders were sagging off of him. We couldn't take advantage of him as a free option in the backfield, and then also like move it laterally and then vertically. So we just started putting him in the stack, and we also had Kins downfield that whole season, but started centering to him because he could just distribute and then have like that year Tobias and Quinn kind of as a duo. Like it was easy to score, and by consolation we brought Kuhlman over, so it'd be like Toby or Quinn and Shea just rip it to Kuhlman.
Yeah,
but
you see us in consolation. You do not want to see Bravo 2024 in consolation.
Yeah. The gist of that though is when I think about matchups, I do think like personnel wise, who has a good matchup, but also who has a really bad matchup. And I don't want to say that we want to hide that person, but it's just how can we occupy their defender in a better way?
For sure. Yeah. Do you think about who on your team calls the personnel for defense when you're like when you just scored and you're like calling the line, the people that are playing?
It's a combination for us. So we have 3 coaches.
Yeah.
We have, since I've been on the team, myself, Tim Kafalis, TK, and then Joe Durst. Joe is our shout out Joe. You had him for
U24.
Yeah. I would love to see him with that team again, actually.
Agree.
I do feel like his coaching strengths really suits a team like that. But he's our primary line caller, and it's something that all of leadership, including captains, talks about lines ahead of time. And he actually even does line calling simulations just on a spreadsheet. Like, if this happens, what will I call? But then it's usually a collaboration between TK and him. If TK sees something specific, he'll ask for something specific.
The reason I ask, in addition to being broadly curious, is because I feel like something I've tried to play around with, or I'm curious if you think about as well, is like the more classic like D1 or D2, or some different slices of those that have different tendencies. Like defensive coaches, I think, are thinking about how to sequence those over the course of a game as well. And so when you're thinking about pull plays, like in theory, there could be some give and take there, or like trying to get ahead of it. I haven't figured out a way to do that yet. Like, I haven't figured out if there's like if Nate Goff is going to cross over for machine, then that like indicates that they're going to try to have him be center field, whatever the like flow chart would be of that. And therefore we should run Dom or something like that. But I feel like there could be a path there, and I haven't quite cracked the nut on that. So anyway, I'm just curious if you guys are thinking about that. And if
I have thoughts about this for sure.
What are they?
We do need to get back to semis in a second, but I will I will expand. I mean, there's like there's a lot for one person to think about. First of all, like I think you do need someone dedicated to it, or at least to bounce the idea off of. The most obvious example that I have from this year, because I played a couple games at Pro Champs.
Yeah, that's so sick.
And I'm playing with the O-line. Babbitt crosses over to play D, and everybody knows he's going to guard me and he's going to help off. That's like, of course, because like I am the fresh meat to pick on. Like, there's no question that is the case. All 50 people at that field know that that I am the fresh meat to pick on. And so like being able to recognize things like that quickly, I think are helpful.
Mm-hmm.
And having someone like, all I did was I just tried to stay out of the way. And every time he tried to help off, I just tried to go up to a spot where I could be accessed quickly, or at least drift to that space long enough to where he would commit back to me. Something like Goff, though, I don't know how I would think about Goff. Maybe I'll ask you guys, but I would imagine that, I guess in finals he was playing center field, but he also often just takes a matchup.
It's true.
So I don't know how to predict that one.
Yeah. Anyway, the pull play theory, I think there's like lots of routes underneath it.
I guess the other my last thought on that is, you can, like the play that you're talking about, the fake.
Yeah.
What were you calling it? The fake Fury? Is that what
Fury used to run the like normal version of that play nonstop to like initiate
they still do
it. Hoe. Yeah, they do it all the time. And so we just called it Fury, where like the side handler goes up line and that side wing comes under.
Yeah.
We call it that too. Apparently Fury is the only team that doesn't call it Fury.
Yeah.
But like we run that play as well, and I guess the way you set it up though is you run the Fury one or two times, and then you run the fake Fury. Right? That's the we actually call it. Quinn likes to call it sea cucumber.
Well, it was called sea cucumber for a long time, and then this year Nut comes on, and all of a sudden we're calling it dagger, and I'm just like, what happened to sea cucumber? But it's my favorite. It's my favorite play, man. And you can do it. You can do it from the side stack too in a flood, and you flood a couple of times, and then when Universe Point rolls around, you call sea cucumber, and you kill them deep, and it's the best thing that's ever happened. Yeah,
so good.
Yeah,
I love the like little names and phrases in the frisbee world that come out of stuff. It's so funny. Sea cucumber is really good. I gotta use that.
Yeah, maybe my favorite. Maybe one of my favorite plays in just like a nothing game that I've ever made was at Pro Champs in 2022 or 2022 against Machine, and we've been setting up sea cucumber, and I was like, we're not actually going to run it, but Joe walks out to the line and he looks at me and he goes, it's now or never. And it's like 14-12 or something like that. He's like, it's now or never. I'm like, what, are you serious? And we run it, and Jace Bruner's guarding me, and he just like, we're all yelling flood. Everybody's like, flood, flood, flood. I'm yelling flood as I'm running under. And Jace just like commits 180% on this under, and I get him deep so good that he's like not even in the frame when I like catch it for the goal. And it's just hilarious.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Wow. The feeling of going deep doesn't happen to me much, I'll tell you. But it does feel good. It does feel good.
That's a good segue back to semis.
Sure.
When you went deep, this is actually the third 0 point on Henry off the side stack. Were you expecting that throw to go up?
Yeah, I wish I had caught that. I should have just jumped earlier. That would have been so cool if I had like posterized Henry.
That would have been so cool.
So unlikely. Yeah, I trust Leo immensely. I think he reads the game really well. I do think I was opened by a pretty good, like, I think the throw, the look was there. It hung a little bit. I wish I had attacked it. I always think it's the thrower's fault because it's me that's the thrower, but I actually think I could have made a play on that. And I think if Leo or honestly any other of our O guys had been on the other end of the play, I think they would have caught it. But yeah, and then I've watched the play over a bunch of times. I don't think it's a foul. I wish I hadn't called a foul. I felt like I got clobbered, and so like that's why I called it. But I think he gets the disc before I do, and I'm both glad Leo threw it, and I think the throw could have been very slightly better, but I think I should have made the play.
No shame in getting deed in the deep space by Henry, though.
Yeah, but like it would have been so sick. It would have been so sick. Yeah. Also, I don't know if you can see on the replay, but I do this like kind of like death roll thing after I hit the ground, and it looks so weird after like
We'll
I
have
like
to
hit the
watch
ground and I'm just kind of like doing this weird thing on the ground. So anyway, bad all around.
You got to prove it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, semis was tight most of the way.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about the game overall? I think the most interesting thing I wanted to ask you about was the Henry matchup, but how was the flow of the game for you from your memory?
Well, very quickly on Henry, like he and Michael are different people and different players, but one of the things that they share is that they're the rare
incredible
combo
at frisbee
and very handsome and smart and all the other things. They're both bronze demigods and all that. But I think they like usually I have size or some quickness, kind of like I was talking about with Walker and Quinn before, to a much lesser extent because it's me. But like I think usually I can like outsmart or kind of outwile my way a little bit with bigger people, or I can kind of like post up smaller people a little bit. Henry is both like larger, significantly larger, and quicker, like significantly quicker than me, and so it's very tricky. But Michael is that way too, and so Michael has been guarding me at practice a fair amount, and that is very helpful for me to like workshop some stuff. And there's like no other person or way to like practice for the Henry matchup than to have Michael. Like I feel very lucky that I was able to have some chances to have Michael guard me because I think it helped me a little bit for some of those moments I was able to wriggle free. Like I think a lot of that was because of Michael's work. So that was that. You asked more broadly just about the game. I think Rhinos, like I know a lot of people talked about how Revolver is like the most talented team this year, but I actually think Rhino has like a higher overall skill level. I don't know. They have like when you like list off the names of people that are on their team, it sounds different than anyone else. And like when they went down to sub 13-10 and they're just like, all right, we're just going to play all of our best players and we're just going to score 5 in a row. And they did it. It was like, okay, like this team feels like they have a ceiling that is maybe higher than anyone else's, maybe ours, but like, yeah, we knew they were going to be super good. And also they play up to the moment. I think that they do really well in big moments. And that's a testament to their leadership. And like, I think the fact that Micah is a dog and like the rest of their O plays well in big games, and like their D line is really scary. They've got a lot of really good players. So like I think we just knew we were in for a tussle, and like it was one of the only like question marks I think for us going into the weekend as well, because we hadn't seen them at full strength and there wasn't even film on them, and there was like no way for us to really prepare for what that was going to feel like. So there's like just a little bit of feeling each other out, I think, throughout the game. And like the small moments went our way, and I don't know, ended up winning.
Yeah. They might be able to match you in talent too. You're right.
Maybe. But it's probably like
their top
you
end
guys,
is just so good.
Rhino, and I feel like Pony's got so much talent too. Like on like looking at paper, it's probably, maybe I'm forgetting a team, but that feels like the three that I'm like looking at on paper. That's the most talented. What happened with Dylan and Raider at the end of the game? That was weird. Weird.
It was weird. I think I know that there was like the initial push off foul, and like you guys have been in those games. The emotions are going crazy. People are like 100%. Super adrenalinized, and like I think that was kind of what led to the initial like call not being super calm. The like Dylan catching the goal and then turning back around, I think was actually like not. He wasn't like looking at Raider at all. Dylan's like one of the nicest people.
Dylan would never do that.
Super kind. He's like very not antagonistic. There was like one time we were playing mini or something, and I like called a travel on him, and he like tapped it back in through like a good throw, and then like later in the point was like, I think that call actually hurt you. I'm not trying to trash talk you, just saying. Like, I was like, don't worry. Like, A, you can trash talk me. I enjoy it and it's funny. And B, I think you're right. And also, like, he's super kind and would never, like, I think is actually uncomfortable with kind of like having conflict in big moments. And so, like, Dylan catches it and turns back around. And I think Raider is right there and feels like Dylan is like, showboating or whatever, but I think Dylan was just coming to like celebrate with us.
He was just happy
got the
and stoked
game-winning
you guys
goal.
won. Yeah.
Terrified.
And then Raider immediately is like, "Whoa!" And then Nick Stewart, thankfully, is like right there and kind of pulls him away. And yeah, I basically it's like nothing burger, which is the same as like actually the first point when Leo throws me the lefty and I turn and I yell like it's easy to our line. Vin pops up like right in my face. He's like, right "Oh, there. Was it?" or something like that. And I was like, "Oh, Vin, I'm sorry, man. Like I wasn't yelling at you." And I actually went over to the sideline right after and like dapped him up. It was like, I was just trying to fire up my troops, man. I meant nothing by it. I'm sure it looked worse than I meant. I'm sorry about that. And he was like, "Oh, you're good. Like, same for me. Same for me." So anyway, like most of those
definitely noticed that.
Things. Yeah.
Speaking of Dylan, we when we just had Levka on, she mentioned Elise Friedman, who went to East High. Dylan also went to East High, which is just down the road from me.
Yeah.
I don't think he played Frisbee while he was there, but another Colorado kid.
Loves Colorado.
Anything else about semis? It's a good game for sure.
Dan Riddoller with the block of the century, perhaps.
Jeez, that's crazy.
Crazy. But no,
can we talk about him for a second? Because I did. I have a section kind of earmarked just to talk about some of your teammates, but
sure.
And Dan was one of them, so I want to talk about him now. Like on a line or on a defense with like you have crazy big athletes with Michael, with Dex, with Carter, Dylan, Seamus. And somehow the best block getter is this little 5'9" guy. Like I actually didn't really know he was so good until this year.
And then he picks up after he gets the block too.
Yeah.
He just walks up to the disc and
incredibly impressive. I guess there's not much more to say about him, but if there is anything you'd like to say.
I mean, I also just felt like he came out of nowhere too. Maybe I'm naive, but like, bro, I didn't know about him a year ago.
All the credit goes to him. He is like similar to Walker, but in a different way of like Dan loves sports, knows what it's like from like basketball growing up and other just like love of playing and watching and consuming sports. Like he knows what it means to be good in big moments. He knows how to build winning cultures. He asks for and demands a lot from his teammates in the best way, holds everybody accountable. He's like meal prepping for weeks at a time and super disciplined and like didn't have any goldfish or any like crackers or chips for like many months. Like a lot of those types of things. I know it's like a lot of different, very specific, tailored for like optimized performance stuff. He is incredible at mindset wise, all that stuff. He's excellent at, better than anyone I've played with. And it shows up on the field. It shows up in big moments. And it's a testament to like the work he's put in. And I don't know, like Frisbee in some ways is still like a real sport for some and a fake sport for lots. And like Dan treats it as a real sport and gets his just desserts. He really
that's sick.
Plays like a pro and I think treats it like a pro.
Yeah.
By the way, I even think that's true for pro athletes. There's a lot of pro athletes that treat it like a fake sport.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, it is awesome to see more and more people treat it like a true profession.
I feel like it was like almost a stigma it was like cool to not care about Frisbee. even in recent years, like even a couple years ago. I feel like it's finally becoming cool, quote unquote, in the Frisbee scene to care a lot, which I really appreciate.
Yeah, I mean, like as I mentioned about the like 23-year-old me looking up at the other people exiting the sport and like doing other stuff in their lives, like there's always this give and take with Frisbee around accessibility and how tough it is to be able to like make a life of Frisbee work depending on who you are, and shout out the people that make it work. And also like if you've got the goods and the skill and like can make it happen, then by all means. And Dan very much is that. And I think Quinn, there's like you and like Rowan and other people that come to mind who do so much to get better. Like it shows because you guys are the top of the sport.
Over here at Pod Practice, we are excited to announce that we are partnering with Greatest Bag to provide you with all of your ultimate bag needs. If you're looking to get a new ultimate bag, head on over to greatestbag.com. And if you use code PodPractice10, you will receive 10% off your purchase.
Okay, so you get past the defending champs. It's a great game. And then you have a rematch with Machine in finals. I have a couple specific questions, but any immediate thoughts about the mindset heading into the game?
The one major adjustment that we talked about. You guys know that, by the way?
No, that was funny though.
I'll tell you more another time. There's a couple of those points in the pool play game against Machine where they did just like a super change of pace on defense, and like tried to make it just like weird for us, and that was actually pretty effective. And we watched that game back many times in the prep for the final, and actually like it didn't seem like they did that much. We just kind of like freaked out and then like threw stuff that was different from our system and our way of doing things. And so then there was like no real fix for us. And in the like strategy meetings and meetings ahead of the game, we were just like, we should just play good and like play the way that we know how, and just like maybe take an extra second against like this junkie where people are like trying to jump off of stuff, but like we know how to do that. Our defense has done stuff like that against us a lot as well. And yeah, there's no like secret. We just have to be confident, play in the systems that we know. So that was we felt pretty confident, honestly, after watching that, where they do a lot of things to like throw you off the pace, and like the opening pull of the game is like a sideline roller. Yeah, and they're like, okay, like we'll take the 30-40 extra free yards like we were talking about with pull plays. Like if you want us to have the higher chance at a 15-second O point, then by all means we'll take it.
On that, and remind me to ask you about your own defense, but on that, what did you think of their roller pulls and then also just their short pulls? Did you have a sense of what they were trying to accomplish?
I'm intrigued. I enjoy the like, I don't know, like I was talking about with looking at the Patriots formations in the newspaper. Like I enjoy thinking about the way that things unfold. I think the first time that this sort of thing happened, I think was the Japanese national teams or Buzz Bullets maybe that were like doing the short pull. And if I remember correctly, or if I've studied it correctly, it's mostly for them. It was like they were getting crushed in the deep game and like wanted to eliminate that as an option. And so like that seems very reasonable to me. And if it feels like you want to try to make things simpler for your defense and limit the number of overall things that an offense can do, I think it's a reasonable thing to try. It does come with the fact that you are more likely to give up a super easy score. And so there's like definite downside, I think, to trying it as a defense. And that's the way that we treat it as an offense, is like, we'll always take the thing that you're giving us. And like, we have the ground game just as well as we have the air game. And so we'll do that instead.
the way you guys set up, and I keep talking about the clips, but now I kind of want to watch them all at one chunk instead of parsing it up. But like you put Pryor like on the far rail and like upfield, it's almost like a double team thing in the UFA, or I actually don't know what else to say about it. Like I assume you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I do. That's a feel thing more than anything, and I think speaks to what I was saying about like the T shape is more about zone tendencies than it is about like being strictly adherent to like a way of moving, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And you would say the same thing about, is that Nate just making a call?
I think it's Nate being like saying like nobody's guarding me. Let me just like float over this way. We like it when Leo or other people that are good at getting open in the backfield are like the primary look when it's like trapped on the sideline. Nate's very good at that. I'm fine at it, and like we want the disc in our hands as much as possible, but like having a dominant cutter who can be in that spot in a one-on-one situation feels like the best way out. Adam obviously too. So that's like the primary thing. And then when Johnny was guarding Leo, is like, oh, they've thought about that a little bit too. Okay, like Leo, you go this way. We'll try to isolate someone else instead. That was, I think, the entirety of the thought process. And like, fortunately, we've practiced stuff like that and seen. Like, I actually am grateful that I played 2023 AUDL, and like I often was the one picking up on the sideline and having a lot of those sequential defensive like collapsing in certain spaces that happens. It feels like zone, but it's hard to like really do the pattern recognition until you've done it a bunch of times.
I see. That intrigued me greatly. I think I have one more question before I show you clips about finals. But Quinn, is there anything that you want to
I have one more question. It's not related to finals though, so let's do that, and then I'll ask my question.
I haven't. Obviously, you're like the field general, the O line, but so I haven't asked you about the D line, Major Mac,
Major Throwbot.
Yeah. So can you just give me a little bit about your the defense was incredible. I mean, the personnel, but also their ability to play, like to help and switch at times. The last few years, I don't know. Maybe it felt less so this year than other years. Certainly not actually at Pro Champs. Is like we were seeing ghosts everywhere. But in the last two seasons, I would say even more so. I was expecting a ton of switching from Revolver. So rather than asking a specific question, can you just talk about your D line a little bit?
Yeah, I would say like three like parties or like groups of people to talk about. The architects, the like passionate forward pushers or whatever you want to call them, and then like the stock, like the meat, the group that did it. And the architects, I think primarily, like there's a lot of different people that contributed, but Bruce, Adrian King, our coach, was big on driving the strategy, the long-term vision, and the way that we practice and implement a lot of that stuff. And Tolfa, our defensive captain, who also is a coach and just like an absolute workhorse, watches a ton of film, intuits a ton of stuff about field sense and like can really effectively communicate stuff to people about where things should happen and what the game plan will be going ahead. Like every team meeting before games at Nationals was like Malika would open up and like drive a lot of the convo and then talk about like logistics and framework and stuff. I would have like specific things, and then Tolfa would have the like D game plan. Michael also would contribute to that. And for the like overall architecture, I think especially Tolfa and Bruce deserve a ton of credit for the way that we've played over the last couple of years. The passionate pusher forwards, I don't have a better like phrase for it, but like the people that I think have taken us from like good to great. Jason Valley, like bringing some machine principles and ideas, and just like being like extremely passionate. You guys know Jason, right? From like Kaimana and
Jason
stuff.
quite well, yeah.
You know how much he loves ball and how good he is, and also like the way that he approaches the game. He just thinks about frisbee nonstop and is like super, super driven and capable. And like he and Dan and like Seamus and lots of other people have like joined the team in the last year or two, and then like really, I think, taken the oop from the alley that Bruce and Tolfa have thrown, and like having the people that are able to like build team specific stuff into the scouting docs and the way that we do things is really helpful. And then like, I don't know, you guys know this better than anybody, but like it takes two to tango, and like if the two are, one is the like ideologers and one is the actual people doing it, like our D group actually is extremely good at like being able to switch into brainiac mode for a little bit and then being able to switch into like jock mode or whatever the equivalent is for a little bit. And I think that's a really difficult skill. And I think the way that our D group was able to do that, everyone, all 17 of them, are really, really good at that. And that's like super impressive and something that, again, probably is like a leadership thing for Bruce and Tolfa, but also happens just like at the individual level.
Mm-hmm. So if you were to describe your defensive style, it would actually be hard to pinpoint because they can kind of they have the change of pace looks as well.
Ian Toner asked me after the finals whether I thought small ball was dead or something like that. He's like asking something about how Rafi the year before had said something, and I was like, I'm pretty sure it's all a lot. Like it's just a matter of what the other team is doing and what you think you're going to need to win. And I don't know. It just it takes time. What's that?
Toner was looking for the good sound bite.
Yeah, of course.
Quinn, go ahead.
So I'm sure a lot of people know this, but I'm sure a lot of people don't. One of my favorite things that you do is to get in there, big fella. It's one of my favorite things that you do. And so I think it was before our first pool play game you guys were playing. And we're like warming up in between fields, and you guys are playing to my right and someone else playing to my left. So I'm like watching both. And I'm like, I have my back turned to your guys' game. And all I hear is a big, get in there, big fella. And I look over and you catch a goal. Like I hear the get in there, big fella. I look and then you catch the goal. And it just like brought a smile on my face. One, I want to know where that came from. I think we talked about it at Wook and everything like that. But I was hoping so bad that the final goal was going to be a get in there, big fella too. But I'm curious where that came from.
I'm trying to think. I actually am not sure the origins. I feel like Jacques said it or something like that at one point when I went back for a long. I don't really remember. I think it used to be get up there, big fella, and that was like a. Yeah. Like someone throws a big floater and it's like the pile's getting like gathering underneath and you're like, get up there, big fella, and then someone catches it and you all like say, oh, like that sort of thing. I started saying get in there, big fella, just because it felt right, but also as like a way to communicate if like people have time to like run into the end zone.
I get it.
I feel like I throw like a lot of leaders to like try to get people to like jump in, and so it's like a affirmative and also like congratulatory thing at the same time. And then the twist this past nationals is I started singing. I got a lot of little ticks, little like verbal ticks that like so one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things about frisbee is just like being able to say random silly stuff, nasty Nate, all sort of random pieces of things. And like the way that team culture works in those like super bubbly environments where you like have 7 days, or like in the WUC type of environment where you're like just together and you're like your day job is on pause and like you don't see that many of your family or and all the other like things in your life are kind of like out of the picture for a little bit. I just like those environments are so special because you can just like really rapidly iterate on inside jokes and like silly things that you say, and get in there big fella very much is a big part of that. And yeah, saying it for myself is good.
It's so good. It's one of the best things ever.
Grant would love that. He talks about the bits too for building team culture as quickly as possible.
Have we talked about what Grant did to Rhino at Pro Champs?
What did he do?
We played. How many times we played Rhino at Pro Champs? Was it just twice? It felt like 3 times. I think we just played him twice, but we're playing him. It's literally like 5:30 p.m. and I think we were down big, and we were down like 14-11, I think, and we held, and then we broke, and at 13-14, Grant just kind of like moseys on down to their line, and it's Raiders' wedding this weekend, and he goes, he's talking to him on the line. He goes, Raiders getting ready to say I do, and you guys are standing right here doing this. Like, how does that feel? And then we break them twice more to win. It's just like the funniest thing ever.
Grant's one of the only people that's like live in game trash talked me, and it happened. Like the first time that happened was when we were in semis and I was on Sockeye in 2021, and I was still like, I don't know, 23 or 24 years old, and Grant was like decorated world games, all these things. He was like, yeah, you're not touching it. And I was like, oh my god.
Okay, fine, you're right. Jeez.
He's a funny guy. He's a little troll.
Yeah.
And I did lie. Maybe we'll try to do this lightning round. I did lie that I didn't have anything before clips, but I have to ask you about a few teammates.
Sure.
Are you looking for an ultimate specific training program? Try Brian Nevison's Ultimate Mobility membership. He offers ultimate specific training, customized feedback on your form, weekly live check-ins, full in-season, preseason, and off-season programs, and you can help support the pod by using our referral link in the description below.
I want to start with Eli because of his evolution in his role. Like, he played your role for many years. He played that role in the D-line. He's been all over the place, and he's been a stalwart of the team. And he's a new dad. What can you say about him? Was this a natural? Did he just say, I just want to be on the team and play whatever role? Or
don't have enough good things to say. I think the season was hard for him because he's used to being so invested, and being a dad changes things. I think that's like the TLDR, and there were times that he would come a little bit late. Actually, I think it only happened once. He came late to practice, and was like, a couple of huge developmental stages were like happening while he was like at home with Maddie, his daughter, and like, I think the fact that he was able to still have a really successful season and play a critical role on the offense that was like a championship team, that I think is super rare. Like, I think it takes a lot of discipline, a lot of like good communication skills. And I think the fact he was able to do it is remarkable. I think he also like wanted more because I think he's used to being someone who's like a super high touch player. But I think he, like, as with all people who are like at one point one of the top players in the world and still like could be /are in some ways, and then like are being asked to play something smaller, I think he did it as admirably as anyone. And I also think he was like, as I saying, like, I think he was critical for having our O-line work. He drew huge matchups, and then when he didn't, he would still get in the play. And there are times where he would come into the backfield and do a lot for us, and there are times where everything else was kind of stalling, and he would be able to do more than anyone else in his position could. And he got the disc back for us a couple of times. It's just like not enough good things to say. I think he played that type of role better than anyone I've ever seen.
To have his amount of skill at that spot of the O-line is so huge. And I was really impressed with his throw selection as well. Like, played with it himself, moved the ball. Sometimes I did forget he was out there, but that in some ways, like, that's a really good thing because he is a player of such stature and accomplishment that, like, his ability to just do what was needed for the team, I thought was really big for Revolver's ability to win a championship this year.
Top notch dude as well.
Yeah, phenomenal
Top-notch.
person. Phenomenal
Yeah.
person.
I have another vet, one of my homies, Simon Higgins. It was good to see him healthy. What comes to mind when you think of Simo?
I guess, like, what you see on the field, I'm trying to think about like what people who are like unfamiliar with Simon think of him, but he is like at once this like world beating unstoppable force and also like a super goofy, like send you lots of reels on Instagram, like jokester, and cares so intensely about the way that the team vibe is and like the way that the youth program in the Bay goes and like how the young guys on the team feel. He's super empathetic. He's just like all the things you would want in a great teammate. He's super caring. And like when I went to Revolver tryouts in 2024, I was like, I'm going to play on Revolver this year if I make the team, and saw him cleaning up. I was like, why didn't you play O last year, man? And he was like, oh, it's like better role for me and I wanted to have a lot of impact. And I was like, if I'm on the team, you should definitely play O. Like, you can do so much. And he like completely changes the shape of defenses that guard us and like the way that people respond to him. It's like I've been very blessed to play with like Tanner Johnson Go in my youth, and like on World's teams have had like a incredible group of deep receivers, but Simon is definitely like one of those incredible people that completely changes the way that the defenses play us.
I went up to him after you smoked us at Pro Champs just to tell him how psyched I was to see him moving so well again, because I know he's battled some tough injuries the last couple of years.
Yeah. He like Walker is super, super disciplined, and he like probably is the most, if not the most, one of the most frequent flyers in our like training / like fitness Slack channel, and has a home gym, and like I mean, you can see the way he looks. He's like a chiseled god, but like it's true. Like he just works incredibly hard on a lot of that as well.
He and I have nerded out together about that stuff quite a bit, actually. I think we follow a lot of the same people, and as does Quinn, because Quinn and I also follow a lot of the same people. We already talked about Dan, and we touched on Jason a little bit, but I want to ask about Leo and Dylan, just the BMO connections. Like, does it mean anything extra special to play with those guys?
Oh,
Do you think
yeah.
about that?
Oh my gosh. Like, there's nothing. I actually never played with Leo in college. I coached him briefly, like right after I graduated is when he joined as a freshman. So I knew him a little bit, but the feeling is a little different. The thing that's the same is that he's gone through the school of Jake and Sam and like the other coaches that have been at Brown, and also like played on Dig. And so like there was in 2023. And so he and I do have some cohesion there, but Dylan and I were on those teams together, and he is first like hilarious, second intense and like very, very competitive, third like hasn't played Frisbee in a couple of years and immediately came back and was able to compete at like the elite club level, which is incredible. And fourth, like being in a car with him, we drove up to PEC West, and just like it just everything comes so naturally. with like actually pretty much everybody on the team. But like those people that you have so much shared history with and like inside jokes or things like that with people, there's such a sense of like home or something with them, and having Dylan on the team was really, really special for that.
While you were talking, it was just making me think about Quinn not having ever left Colorado, and I'm sure like there are a lot of guys that are not that did not play Mama Bird that have played Bravo, but it's almost as you're speaking, kind of like an experience I want Quinn to have. I needed. Pavel's giving me shit for this. He's like, you need to stop telling your best players to go experience other places. But there's something like that sense of nostalgia and connection to your past that like Quinn's just here.
Yeah, maybe one day we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, I think. Well, unless there are any other specific shout outs that you want to give, I will pull up some film now. I'm sure you want to give plenty, but
yeah, I mean, I'll just say like we haven't talked about Adam Reese, the best player on the team, or Nasty Nate, the like backfield rock.
Yeah.
Honestly, everybody on O, I feel like I could talk for a long time about Raekwon, future GOAT. Like I can't go wrong with the O group we had, but also like a couple of people on the D group. Again, like feel like I could shout out all of them. Maybe I'll just do one. Quan, who I played with on Sockeye, in a similar vein to like Leo and Dylan, having some prior like past knowledge or like camaraderie with them. Quan, I feel like knows me better than sometimes I feel like I know myself, or like he's such a empathetic person and so in tune with like how things are going, which is especially helpful and like a treat because I came in like pretty hot Revolver last year, being like, I want to win, and like winning is the only thing that matters, or I don't know, like that, the like balance between camaraderie, teamwork, culture, and like trying to push for winning and all of that sort of stuff. I think Quan understands me because we were teammates, but also just like a super intellectual and empathetic.
It sounds so North Carolina of him.
maybe that is just a thing.
You know, I didn't even ask the specific question of what does winning this championship mean to you?
It's definitely like a career like when I first set out, I don't know if actually this is that true. It's like not as storybook as the way I'm making it to be, but like I do feel like the two kind of like primary things I wanted to accomplish were making one of the WUC teams and then winning a club championship. And there are like parts of me right after we won where I was like, am I good? Like, am I good? Have I done it? Am I out? And if I like, the answer is no. The answer is no.
Good, cool.
But like, that's what it means to me. Like, it is like one of the things that I set out to do, and I feel it like it's so hard to do, and it means a lot.
Yeah, I share that perspective a lot. Where it's, I don't know if I'm less competitive now or what. It's like I still want to win really badly, and I really hate losing. I hate losing more than I like winning, I think.
Me too.
But like, for instance, I was talking to Cody Mills at the tournament party for quite a long time, and I think that guy's brilliant. I think he is smarter. He's a better Frisbee mind than I am. I think he is amazing. I love that guy. I respect that guy so much. But it almost felt like the fact that I have a championship, it just, everything is sort of released. I don't feel the pressure anymore. In some ways, that's maybe bad because it doesn't make me work as hard. I work really hard. the podcast probably also makes me worse coach, by the way. But yep, anyway, that's debatable. But it was interesting talking to Cody because he understands that, but also at the same time, like feels like I need that stamp of validation. Like I need it. And that makes sense, right? That's what you do. That's what you compete for. That's what sports is about. You do want to win and reach the pinnacle. But it was interesting to sit next to him and I don't know, sort of also realize this about myself, that I'm maybe unburdened in a way that I wasn't before. And I wanted that so badly for him in that moment because, like another tough loss for Pony. And I guess he was also with Revolver at one point too. Maybe it was tough to see you guys win. I don't know what was going on through his head, but
damn.
Yeah. He'll get one.
Yeah, I'm sure he will. Not while I'm playing though. But I think
later.
I'm kidding. I think I also hate to lose. I'm sure I'll get the juice back when the season starts back up, or like at some point in the off season. And there's always like another hill to climb. It's like the nature of a cyclical sport, and like the fact that there will be another year, another season. The one thing that's different about this versus other championships I've won is each of the, like I won YCC's 2015 and then like 2019 college. Both of those were like my last. I know. I'm sorry. I wasn't sure if we were.
You're all good. You're all good.
Okay.
10 gold.
Yeah. But those were both my like last bite at the apple for like both of those, and like there was. I've never like gone into a season having won because I've always like moved on.
Oh, interesting.
If that makes sense. And so now I'm like not really sure as much of like how to approach or think about the next season because for my personal experience, it's always been like, that's it.
Hey, you just eat all the donuts you want this off season, drink all the beer you want. You have plenty of time.
Yeah, what's your vice? What is it?
What is my vice?
Keep talking. I'm just pulling up this share.
Me and Margaret have been making a lot of fresh pasta recently, so I feel like that might be
that's a good vice.
Yeah, I like chips. I like chips a lot.
Bro, here's a good question. This reminded me.
Yeah.
If you could choose one food to not have calories, what would it be?
What is that? What do you mean not have calories? Like I can eat it and there's no downside.
There's no consequences for eating. Like if it's like chips, I think is like a really, really good answer. You could just fucking go to town on a bag of chips and have no consequences for it. And all your cravings are gone.
I think I would do ice cream.
Ice cream? So that's my second pick. I think it would be ice cream, potato chips, but if you really wanted to gamify it, you do potatoes in general, and then you can have French fries at General Potatoes. You could have French fries and potato chips.
Quinn's thought about this.
I have.
I was about to say smash burgers because Quinn, you've gotten me on such a smash burger kick.
See, that's a good. That you need like a craving killer food, and I don't know if smash burgers kills it.
Yeah.
But that like is one of my favorite foods.
We ready to watch some film?
Good transition.
Mac, this is like a 4-minute clip reel of you. We don't have to watch all of them. I have a few highlighted. Let's watch the first one because we've talked about the set a decent amount, and I'll just let it play. And if you don't have to talk over it, but if you ever have thoughts, interject. This is one of your squeakers. I think is safe to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, that's a nice fucking
get up there,
catch,
big fella,
dude.
situation.
Yeah, definitely.
And tell me to rewind whenever. This next one I'm definitely going to pause. So here you're running your fake Fury, the one we're calling either Sea Cucumber or Fury Dagger these days on our side. But this is, I think, what one set that really highlights your abilities because of the way you dissect the help and find the open person.
Ooh.
You can see on the left rail. I think that's Simon going deep.
Yeah.
And then you snipe. Who's that? Raekwon?
Yeah.
On the left side. So can you walk me through this one a little bit?
Yeah. Well, honestly, the place to start is actually the first one, if you don't mind going back.
Sure.
Because in this play, I'm watching the guy guarding Leo and whether he's helping, and then also like the guy guarding Dylan, of course, most notably. And Wilson Matthews, number 0, is like guarding Leo very tight there. And so I know that the person, any helpers will have to make a long run for it.
Backside.
Yeah. And then when this play happened, Walker, I think, is the 4 on the far side there. And he, after this play, came up to me and was like, just so you know, that was my guy
he left.
that went.
Yeah. So Walker's over here.
And so then...
I think it's Jeff Gow, yeah.
Yeah. And so then when we ran the play again, I was like, okay, I expect that the far side rail person is going to go. And if that's the case, like whoever that is, just be aware and like ready for it.
That is nasty though, this throw. That's okay. Talking about pull play evolution. There we go.
That was, that clip was fucking sick. Like going from that one to that one.
This throw though, man, like who is, I don't know who that is. I can't tell.
That's Raymond Liu.
Is that Raymond?
I think so.
The fact that he's also sagging this lane and you still snipe it past him.
A little tight.
It's a tight window.
It's another squeaker maybe, but
let's not give it squeaker category.
No,
but
this is like I guess Nut can throw this. Who I don't know who else is throwing this.
That's it. Honest. That might be it.
I don't think Arders is even.
I bet Jacques would throw it.
Okay, maybe Jacques. Jacques, another brown boy. Okay, so I'll let most of these just play through. Why did I? That one was not interesting. It's just a pull play. This you just squeeze a backhand in. I thought it was.
Wow. Oh yeah.
All right.
That's like honestly, like there are times where I feel like I should pause and survey the field. There are times where I just think it makes sense to move it super quick. And that's like the way that the rest of the line does it. And that I think the more we do that, the better, just because like movement is helpful and pressing the advantage is good.
Yeah, I think you have a good balance. The rest of the line does do that quite well, and you might hold a little bit longer, but I think you're well suited to do so. I think this is just, I clip this just because it's a hammer, and you throw a lot of hammers.
Machine plays end zone D a little differently. They're just like, they have 2 guys in the back, and they guard pretty wide. My guess is that the scouting report on me is that I like to throw to the back corners, which is true. And so like having 3 people at the back to allow for someone to be in the middle actually is kind of nice, because then you can fully split the duo.
Yeah. Mike has on our like flow sheet for the podcast, Mike has where is it? Ability to throw to the back of the end zone, the back line of the end zone. So that is the scouting report on you for sure.
I think that's a pretty elite skill, because a lot of people will throw it and it'll fall into this middle portion. Mm-hmm. But to dance with that back line is difficult. Although I will say, from the crowd's perspective, when I'm sitting watching games, the crowd does not think it's difficult. And
no, everybody's like, "Oh, that should have been thrown 3 throws ago."
Yeah.
Why did we throw that a while ago?
Okay, Goff falls on this one, but I wanted to know, I think you and Jacques do this really well. I don't know if this is a Brown thing, but both of you throw away from the help really well. Like, this is an obvious side stack, right? Everybody runs this. Simon's just going deep.
Yeah.
Is that conscious for you at all, or is this just so second nature for you?
It's conscious for sure. I mean, Quinn knows this play. We talked about this at Worlds. Like this play is unguardable. There's just like so many things that happen all at once that it's super hard to diagnose. Nate falls, which is Walker's coming under. There's like various openings in the stack side if people try to help a lot for like hammer looks. I'm sure you've
hammer though.
Jock Brother.
That's a look. That's like a look for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just think like being able to have a good person who fields the pole and then like, or if you just get at the brick, like you kind of you're in the middle of the field, you can throw it to any of the sides. It feels like even that like little pitch to Nasty Nate, like that still is going to get us, still going to get us some good stuff. And like, I don't know, that pole play, that side sack play, I think is pretty hard to stop. And also we've run it a ton of times, so I feel like I know the looks and the way that exactly.
I think I'm actually earmarked this one partially because I wondered do you remember if you even considered throwing?
Oh yeah, Johnny. I'm always trying to throw it out. Johnny, I think he was doing a bunch of weird mark stuff on me. He like,
as Johnny does,
kept jumping from one side to another. At one point, like didn't stall me for a while. I think on the first point he said 1 banana, 2 banana, 3 bananas.
I also marked this because Don comes in to help, and I think there's a hammer look coming up that you did not throw.
That one, yeah, right there.
Yeah, it's a little late, I think. Usually the first couple of stall counts, or like as I'm catching it, is when I'm diagnosing. It's harder for me to,
like after you've caught and had to sort of,
like I think I would look now, oh shit, I traveled. Now I'm like maybe looking for a second, but also I'm on the sideline. I'm like not super thrilled about holding it for a long time.
That makes sense. Okay, let's see what's next. Okay, there's Pac-Man, I think now.
Oh yeah.
We did the same just play. One of your the CQ.
Dylan does a great job in a lot of these of getting his body in the line of the defender and then like running it out from there. He's an excellent deep receiver.
This one I wanted to ask why you didn't throw it.
Yeah, I think it was a little deep. It was open. I don't remember. I
mean, sometimes you just don't throw it.
Yeah, sometimes you just don't.
No notes on this.
Boom! It was a squeaker.
I don't think that one was a squeaker.
You tried to throw it higher though, didn't you? Yeah.
But you do that.
Yeah, it's better to throw completions than goals, but I would like to be able to throw goals as well. Like having the ability to be able to. Oh, Simon and I talked about that one a lot. Simon has this metric he talks about where like when people say "oh shit" when they're guarding him, he said that like that guy said "oh shit" as
I'm sure.
I guess
it comes late.
Yeah, late, and it's a little bit too deep. Like I think I actually don't have
nuts range.
Yeah, like I'm more of like a 50-yard specialist. I can juice it once in a while, but I don't have those young shoulders anymore.
Yeah. I'm more like you as well. I'm 50 and below.
Doesn't have the nut range.
I don't know how he does it.
Just no nut range.
There. Yeah, Eli was open. Just gotta get it to him.
Yeah, you see it so fast is all.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's this one? Probably. Oh, okay. So I guess you kind of get stranded here.
Yeah, high stall.
Do you remember anything from this moment?
I remember seeing Nate break free, like right around here. Like I usually like when the stall count gets high, I like look for Adam. Adam, come save me, sort of situation. Yeah. And he usually has like a beast mode situation right on tap, ready to help us out. And I saw Nate's guy go guard him. And so I was like, okay, Nate's open. I'll try to get it to him.
So you felt reasonably comfortable though, because even without that outlet, you feel comfortable with Adam.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, let's see what's next. This is another one of those low. This is the squeaker I think you were talking about.
This is the squeakiest of them all.
Yikes. Squeaky for sure.
What a dot, though.
I think Sealand low-key just missed it.
Do you think so?
I think so. I think so.
Let's go back to this.
I think if he just goes with his hand instead of trying to hit it, because I think even if he hits that's a clap catch.
Oh, I don't
he's
know.
macking that to.
You can't mac the mac.
You talked about throwing away from the help there. That throw out of that side stack play, I often throw it just like this. I try to throw it low into the near side sideline. What I should have done, based on the way that they were playing this, though, is try to bomb it to center field and throw it high and farther.
And tail the stack side.
Yeah.
So
because
Sealand doesn't have a good line on it.
Yeah. And also Sealand was faster than I was anticipating. I think the fact that he was closer to that than I thought. I think I thought it was more open to throw it in that spot than usual. That's high school, baby. Power position.
Yeah. Nothing special. Nothing fancy. It's a nice throw though.
Thanks.
Okay. Here's one of what I'm calling you T. Dylan does a good job. You guys run a lot of sets out of this in semis and finals.
Yeah. Thanks
that one's deep.
Yeah, that one was pretty good.
Poor Sealand this game, man.
Just attacking him.
So this one I'll pause because you have to get open on Henry.
Yeah. Ooh. We dance a little bit more than I would like.
And then you throw the nifty hammer again.
There's just no hesitation with your over the tops. It's really
that's
nice.
the thing. It just comes out so.
Yeah.
Toby is like that as well for us in Colorado. He's maybe not quite where you're at yet in terms of being polished, but his hammer is quite nice.
Yeah, he's got the goods.
First point of finals. This is what we were talking about earlier. Sideline roller. And then Nate's just out here floating. I guess I see what you're talking about, Leo being set up as a primary reset. But now this throw is just wicked.
I think I saw Adam open, and I was like, I could throw that, but then, I don't know, I saw Ray jump down.
Just coming in.
And it makes me nervous to throw to people. I would have to put it right on Adam's bread box because I can't throw him, out to space. So then I'm like, okay, well, if Nate's open, then
I'll just rip it.
Just throw it to him, yeah.
Do you think...
Oh, also, I just had a ton of Red Bull.
Hell yeah.
This is
Red Bull is a crazy drug. Yeah.
First completion of the game is this sick cross-field blade.
Yeah. I don't have caffeine in my daily life, so I was going super dope mode.
Is that Raymond on Nate?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So if Nate does not sit up here, because I'm just... By the way, I like this, but I'm thinking of what some of the guys that I coach will say to me, like, if Nate was just never here, then Raymond could never have interfered with that.
So true.
I think I said that when we watched it for the first time, Mike.
Yeah.
Would you prefer him having just not been there then?
Yeah. Yeah. Totally.
Okay.
I think isolation is good. I think fewer people benefits the offense as a broad rule of thumb. And I think that the times where more people get involved, it's usually worse.
Complicates things.
Yeah.
Okay, we're watching you throw a couple hammers.
Yeah. Again, Red Bull beast mode situation.
You should drink Red Bull more often.
Beast mode, I'm afraid.
Just a nice little leading
that
pass.
Throw. That one's nice. That one's nice. Not too flashy, but really nice.
Okay. This one's nice. I like this set that you guys also run to the tee a couple times.
Yeah.
And Simon.
That was improv.
Really? You didn't know he was
Yeah.
going to go?
No, we were trying to get Cy on an under.
Wow, because he does it twice, I think. Or maybe the second time he doesn't get it.
The second time we programmed it. After the first time, it worked super well.
Okay. I wonder, I guess just because I want to ask you more about dissecting the pull, like, it seems, I don't know, I guess they are sagging your laying, and you just seem to be unaffected by it more so than most throwers. Are you noticing Raymond here? Is he just not far enough in your lane?
Yeah.
Or is Nate doing a good job of spacing?
Tolfa has asked me this a lot before. He, like, in trying to piece together defensive strategies and stuff, thinks about what that person should do a lot. I think and I've tried to answer, I feel like I kind of like see that person out of the corner of my eye, I guess. It's like kind of hard to describe. I like clock that the person's there. It's kind of the same with like when I try to register deep help as I'm winding up for a deep throw. Like I'm not explicitly necessarily looking at the person. I can just like, maybe it's a pattern recognition thing. I'm not sure.
I'll come back to this one. Yeah, I know what you mean. It is similar. It's like when I'm trying to like relate it to like my perspective and when I'm on the field, and it's like I'll see the pieces in front of me and then think about okay, it just comes in as a map, and then I think about how to shape the throw to finish nicely in front of my receiver. But I kind of do lose track of like what the actual people are. It does just like all come at me at once.
Yeah, I mean, again, like being a person that gets a lot of chances to do this at practice is what I think makes me good, because I think I just have messed that throw up so many times, or like someone does something to change the way that the play goes, or I don't know. It's all kind of in the preparation and like the
it's a really interesting topic of like the fact that you've had so many chances at it, and it's like sort of a chicken and egg thing. Like you probably showed more acuity towards being good at that, so you got more repetitions. But also, like if people just got more repetitions, they'd get really good at it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's definitely a hard coaching problem, and like especially when there are like maybe 3 guys that show high acuity for it. Like, how do you try to concentrate or balance out repetitions for those people? And then how do you actually deploy that in a game? I'm not really sure what the answer is. But I've been blessed to be in situations where it's like either clearly just me or clearly just somebody else. And then like we go with that.
That's the art of things, and it's just not always a science.
Yeah.
So this is game point. We all know the throw you're about to throw, but one thing I want to mention as well is that it never really seemed like you guys had to retreat. Like you didn't have to worry about resetting negative, and even though you throw this one to Adam for a negative one, like you're not even thinking about going behind. You're immediately attacking upfield. Is it because was it Raymond on you now? Is it because he falls?
That's Jeff.
Oh, that's Jeff.
Yeah, it's because he falls. I'm trying to get it right back.
Just take advantage of it.
Yeah, then he switches off me.
Yeah, loses track. Mistake. And then boom.
He didn't know you wanted to throw the goal.
You'd think though, like maybe stay on Mac after the game you've been having.
Seriously, yeah.
I guess he's just that's the thing though, at the end of the game, right? When people want to make plays, was that Dylan? He probably just sees Dylan free. Like
he lays out on the mark, gets up, runs, switches, tries to get. Yeah, I mean he's just wants to get the ball.
Booyah.
What a play.
Game.
What a play.
Sick.
Night.
Night.
Sick.
Future GOAT.
Future GOAT.
Wow.
That's high praise.
He's incredible. And he's not just incredible. He's like so good at communicating. He's like extremely diligent in the way that he prepares. He always is asking for feedback. He's incredibly kind. He like cares so much about winning. He's the total package, you know.
Yeah, he's springy as fuck too.
Yeah.
It's good to hear that he has all those other qualities, because an outsider like me is just looking at him as an athlete. But over the years, like I think when we first played against him in 22 or 23, when he was playing Spiders, and he kind of tore us up with a lot of deep goals. But since then, he's become the total player. It's kind of like Quinn, how I envisioned Atkin Arnstein developing.
Yeah.
But various things have taken Atkin away from the game. Before we started recording, Mac, I think we were talking about Callahan winners. Do you think Brown has the appropriate amount of Callahan winners? I would always say of the last 10 years, more than expected or less than. Do you know what am I trying to say?
Two, right?
Aziz and John.
Yeah.
John.
I think Callahan Award is like pretty silly, I think, for the most part, in the voting. The what it stands for and that sort of thing, that's cool. I appreciate that it's like there. The way that it gets voted on, I think, is a little silly, and there's like a little bit of like a catch up effect of like prior years and voter fatigue on like the other side. I don't know, like all that. Voting for awards as a broader thing, I think, is flawed. But like, I think John and Aziz both like strongly deserve a lot of praise and any recognition that they get, and Callahan very much seems like a reasonable one for both of them.
Do you feel snubbed?
Like,
Did you feel
snubbed?
Of
course I do. I want to win, but I think Matt put together an incredible college career, and I think he deserves like a ton of recognition the same way that John and Aziz do. And I think the award for him speaks to who he is as a person as well. He's an incredibly kind, caring person, and has built unbelievable programs around him everywhere he's gone. So no, I think very worthy, deserving winner.
Do you think there will ever be a time when you, Jacques, John, and Leo all play on the same team?
Oh,
I hope so. We'll see.
Maybe Colorado.
There's some machinations. Yeah, probably not. I do love Colorado. Actually, my mom worked at a biological field station near Crested Butte, like outside Gunnison. Actually the first like 15 or 16 years of my life. Jade McLaughlin works there now.
Wow.
My mom is like a plant researcher person. And so I spent a lot of time in Colorado growing up, actually. I love it. But probably won't play club there, fellas.
You're always welcome.
We'll see.
Just one season. I don't know. Going back to back is hard, man. Come on, play with us.
Quinn, you got anything else for Mac before we let him go?
No, I don't think so. This was great.
Yeah, it was so good.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
We didn't have time to talk about Dig, so next time.
Sounds good.
Or off the record, we can talk about Dig. Well, thanks so much for being here, Mac. That was a ton of fun, and I learned a lot. So, again, congrats again, and send well wishes to your teammates from us.
Appreciate the invite and what you're doing for for the sport, and always like watching, and hopefully I've done well. We'll see. But thank you guys for having me.
Get in there, whatever you say.
Get in there, big fella.
Get in there, big fella.
Peace.
Peace out.